Coach, your group became just the ninth team in NBA history to score at least 50 points in a first quarter. What were they able to do so well to set the tone out of the gate tonight?
I really thought they defended. I think a lot of those points were early on, us getting stops, getting out and running, and then sharing the basketball the way that we know we can play, moving it, taking the open shot, and trusting the pass and trusting the teammate.
A lot about that, to build on that, to have 8 players in double figures tonight. How much does that speak to exactly what you're preaching right there?
Well, these guys are just continuing to learn to trust each other, the rhythm that they're finding, the continuity that they're finding of being willing to make the open pass. But the one thing that I was most happy about in that situation was that they scored 22 points that quarter. It was the defensive end that got it done that quarter. And then from there, obviously we let them score a little bit too much.
Kind of building off that, what does it say about this team that even though Atlanta was able to kind of creep back into the game, that they were able to kind of make the key stops when they needed to, dig out an offensive rebound? What does that say about where this team is at as far as learning how to manage a lead, how to close out games, even with a big lead like this?
Well, we continue to talk about growth with this group, and it's early on in the year talking about basketball as a game of runs. It's when you make those runs, and then defensively, can you get 3 stops in a row? Can you put that together? And then can you get the open shot, not turn the basketball over and get a shot every time down? Winning those mini battles within the game will change it for us.
Longest winning streak in 2 years. Just what was the feeling like in the locker room with the guys to be able to string together these wins?
These guys feel really good. But the one great thing that they said is don't let up. To a man, each one of them said, don't let up, not being satisfied, understanding that it's a long year, what we've dealt with and what we'll continue to deal with, the ups and downs, but them being able to tie into each other and not be satisfied.
Coach Jay Serrano, Orlando Magic HQ. So building off that, what has been the biggest catalyst in this 4-game win streak? We mentioned the ball movement a little bit earlier, but expand beyond that.
Well, other than tonight and 124, defense. I think our ability to sit down and guard, protect the paint. Like I said, I'm not saying that for tonight. I think we just found a good rhythm offensively, and the ball was moving, and we were playing with a great pace. But for the most part, during this run, it's been our fans, our crowd, the energy they've brought to us, and then our defensive efforts.
Jamal, kind of along those lines, how much, can you use a game like tonight to remind the guys, like, it is the defense that's going to lead to, the offense, getting the stops, being able to get out transition, creates easier, I guess, to get out and run.
I might just replay the first quarter over and over and over again. We might show them that over and over and over again, understanding what it's supposed to look like. Sitting down and guarding, sharing the basketball, playing with a pace, not just in the open court, but in the half court. We were moving, cutting, sharing, and, taking care of the basketball.
Coach Melissa Thomas of Florida National News. Talk about Bol Bol's performance tonight. Like, how did it feel to see the Orlando crowd kind of go crazy after that play?
Bol, he's so unique, and I think each game he continues to show different things. And I think other teams might underestimate him because of his length and size, but he has a high basketball IQ. He cares, and then he wants to and is willing to make the right pass and the right play a majority of the time during the game.
Coach, what is it like basically coaching a team with just positionless type of players, and you could just move them around like puzzle pieces? What is that like on a night-in, night-out basis?
Well, we've had to move them around like puzzle pieces, but the great part about this group is their willingness to make decisions. And, whether that be 6'10", 6'4", 6'5", 7'2", it's their ability to make the decisions. And that's what we want our guys to continue to be, great decision makers that play selfless basketball.
Coach, congrats on the win tonight. You've got a lot of momentum going into Boston this weekend for 2 games. Do you view that as a litmus test for this team, kind of see where this team's at against one of the best teams in the league?
I think we take it game by game, what our guys are doing and understanding the things that have gotten us to a level of success in these past couple games, what we have to continue to do. And they're a great basketball team, obviously, and so we want to make sure that we take care of what we know we can do, and then we'll see what happens.
Again, talking about this team's growth, their ability to close this game out in the fourth quarter, what does that say about where this team how this team has grown and where this team is at? That Atlanta made several pushes at the lead, but they were always able to extend that out. What does that say about how much this team has grown at the end of games, closing things out.
It says so much. You know, we talk about their ability to communicate with one another, which they've done, not getting rattled in certain situations. That's a huge amount of growth. To understand to play with the lead is hard in this league. So them not to just let go of it and continue to play hard, communicate with one another, and understanding it's a game of runs, and they did a great job sustaining it.
Jamal, you were asked this last game. I'll ask you again. How much do you feel like this team is getting closer to, playing consistently with the identity that you want for it?
Well, we're going to keep saying it over and over and over again. We're going to hang our hat on the defensive end of the floor. We're going to sit down and guard. We're going to protect the paint. We're going to trust one another. And that's what we have to continue to our guys understand that. Then the other side of it is it's a mindset. That's the change. Like to your question, Philip, the believing that they can go out and get these games. That's what it starts with.
Kind of last one, update from earlier. Do you know which injured guys are going to travel for this upcoming road trip?
I do not right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Markelle, your group just became the ninth team in NBA history to score 50 points in a first quarter. What does that say about the growth your team's making offensively, and how much did that set the tone for the night?
I think it shows how talented this team is, what we're capable of when we're locked in on both ends of the floor, being unselfish. And again, we were just out there competing and having fun, and that's what you see. Nobody was thinking about who was scoring. Nobody was thinking about personal things. We were all locked into the game plan and just really wanted to win this game and come out and compete hard. So I think that's what we really locked into, and that's what you see. It's amazing to see. We're extremely happy for it. And the way we did it, and now it's time to just continue to build and continue to play the right way and continue to, try to do that over and over again.
Kind of along those lines, you always preach about moving the basketball. To have 8 players in double figures tonight, how much does that speak to that?
I think that's huge. I think that's what this team is. I think we have extremely talented guys from the top of our roster to the bottom, and I think that's what's going to help us be, very versatile and very hard to guard. We got multiple guys who can get in and create plays, who can score, who can shoot, and that's what we preach. We all believe in the work that we put in, and we want to encourage everybody to be aggressive. And when we're doing it like that, when we're just moving the ball and playing with good pace and defensively getting stops and running, that's what you're going to see, and that's what makes it the best. It feels good when everybody's getting a touch and everybody's being able to score, and you see the crowd. Everybody loves it in Orlando as well. So again, this is something to build off of, and to see that we are capable of doing it. So again, we got to lock in now and get ready to go on the road and continue to build.
You guys were able to build the big lead, but Atlanta made plenty of runs to cut into that lead, kind of make it a little bit make it a little closer. But what did you guys do to kind of keep them at arm's length and kind of extend that lead back out time and time again? How much does that say about the growth that you guys have made?
I think it's huge. I think kind of early in the season we would have times we would go up or even go down and kind of drop our heads or beat ourselves up too much. And this is what we've been preaching. Basketball is a game of runs. So especially when you have something like that, it's an NBA team. They're going to make a run. It's hard to match a 50-point first quarter. So just being able to be composed and continue to talk to each other in the huddles and coach talking to us and telling guys, stay with it. They're going to continue to make runs, but get back to what got us there. And I think that's what you see tonight. Every time they went on a run, we got closer and we pulled back out a little bit more. So again, I'm just proud of all the guys, sticking with it, competing, and just believing in each other.
Paolo was a team high plus 15, had a couple steals and a block. We've obviously seen his offensive output, but what have you made tonight from what he did on the defensive end?
I think it's huge. I think that's something that, we'll continue to talk to him about. He's an unbelievable talent, and he can be it on both ends of the floor, So, again, it's just showing, what we're capable of. And now that we're showing it, there's no going backwards from here. We got to continue to build, continue to push each other. And I think a big thing of what you're seeing is, us believing in each other and having each other's back, So we're able to compete harder. We're able to get into the ball. And I think that's just what you're seeing, a product of trust and belief.
Markelle, how fun was that first quarter for you guys? And does a moment like that build team chemistry, or are y'all so close already that an experience like that doesn't really do much?
Nah, I think that's huge. It's kind of crazy because when we were going, I kind of thought it was halftime almost for a second. I didn't even notice it was first. No disrespect or anything. It was so crazy how we were doing it and how well we were playing. It was almost like unbelievable. But it was fun. It was so much fun. And I think that's the biggest thing about this game is like you're so competitive. Sometimes you lose sight of having fun in it. So today I think we had a extremely lot of fun competing tonight. And again, it's just good to see, man. When you see all these guys in double digits and to pull out a great win like this, you know, it's always going to bring the team chemistry up for sure.
Markelle, whether it was that first quarter, this game, or just the entire homestand, like how close do you feel like this team is getting to, you know, what the identity that you guys want it to be?
I think every day we're getting closer. I think that the most exciting thing about it is, you know, we got soldiers that's still coming back, and that's going to help this team even more. So, again, we're continuing to build every day, continue to get better every day, win the day. And I think everybody's seeing it. You know, you're seeing the chemistry, you're seeing how well we can play together, you're seeing it start to put wins together. So, again, we just got to continue to take it one day at a time, continue to build, continue to push each other to get better, and the rest will come.
Bol, for your group to come out with a 50-point first quarter, you know, what did it say about the offensive development of the group, and how much did that set the tone tonight?
We just did a good job. It started on defense and then just sharing the ball on offense, and everybody's just ready to make a play or knock down shots.
Kind of along those lines of sharing the basketball, you had 8 players in double figures tonight. How much are you guys growing in that regard?
Definitely been a step forward from where we were, like, in our ball movement. And I feel like just as the games have gone by, we just gotten better, like, playing with each other, and the chemistry has just been there. So, like, it shows, like, not one person has to have 50 or 30 or whatever. Like, we can all do it just by moving the ball.
On that note, you guys have been playing with so much confidence out there. Can you speak on what's been the biggest keys behind that?
Just all being on the same page, and that just makes us more confident when we know, like, we all got our back, and, like, we got each other's back, and, like, especially on defense, and that just gives us a lot more confidence because we all know, like, we're on the same page and we're there together.
Kind of building off of that, Atlanta made a couple pushes to cut into that lead. What does it say about where this team is at and how much they've grown that you guys were able to kind of fend them off and rebuild that lead time and time again throughout the second half especially?
Yeah, they got off to, like, a little run, but, I mean, it just shows, like, how much we've been growing because, like, usually, like, that lead will just get less and less. But we just stuck together, stuck with it, and we just continue to battle out to the end.
Bol Bol, your game, often nowadays when we break down players or we look at players, we're like, oh, who does he play like or who does he resemble? There's no one in the league that plays like you that can do the plethora of things that you can do. But growing up, was there someone that you may have looked at, you're like, you know what, I would like to play like him, or I like this aspect of his game?
Definitely Kevin Durant. That's probably the person I watch the most because for him, his size and his ability to be able to do everything at that size, and that's just, like, the person I watched the most growing up.
Can you take us through that play in the second quarter when you spun past a guy and got that dunk, or what does it feel like when you're making those plays? Is it just natural for you to make those plays?
We kind of just talk about it in the locker room. It's not like I don't know, like, when I'm gonna do a move. I just, like, played a lot of basketball growing up, so, like, it's just like a reaction thing. Like, if I see someone going this way, then you bite the other way and go the other way. So it's really just all reaction.
Bol, have you felt the team's identity grow or just evolve or throughout this homestand, and how much do you feel like this game, especially the first quarter, can be, I guess, a moment where you guys can just see this is how we need to play? This can be, I guess, the ceiling of how we can play.
It started off, like I said, the Clippers game where we were, like, down and whatnot. But we just, like, showed, like, we're capable of competing every single game, and that's just what we wanted to do. And just, like, as much as our chemistry has been growing, I think that's just been helping us. And now we're, like, starting to figure it out. Now we're starting to figure it out on defense, and, like, we got each other's back and whatnot, like, on all the rotations and whatnot. And we're moving the ball, and that's just been, like, good for us the last couple games.